Hello.
Hey.
How are you guys? Nick?
Good.
Oh, hi. There you go. Now I can hear you guys.
I'm good.
Good. I feel like I haven't seen you, Lisa. Are you holding in there okay? Oh, she's on the phone. What's up with you, Nick?
Oh, not too much.
Was that thing okay that I sent? Did you want to make any changes to it?
Was perfect. The form?
Yeah.
Did you see the email that I sent you back?
I don't know. Did I?
I did a couple like proofreading things. I felt really nitpicky actually, but there was just a couple things.
Oh, okay, yeah. Perfect. I have it here. I haven't looked at it yet, so.
Oh, you're good.
I'll do that. Well, no, that's why I asked. I want to know. Sorry, we'll just hang out for a sec. I'm pulling up my info.
Yeah, that's just my superpower. My superpower is I'm not very good at building things on my own, but I'm really good at being critical of other people's work. So,
No, it's called feedback.
You're a proofreader.
Yeah, it worked great when me and my wife were working together. It just about led to our divorce.
Oh, stop. Okay, let's get it a couple more minutes. I have one of the Keller mortgage lenders, coming on. And so Nick, you were on last week's call, were you?
I wasn't on last week's, but
Okay.
I was the week before.
So what have we been talking about? Because I've missed both of them.
So the first one that we did, we talked about building connections with your sphere, especially right now, just coming more from contribution, because we had a conversation that was geared, people were saying that they don't want to have to come off salesy or ask for business because it was such a sensitive situation with coronavirus and everything. So I know it now. I can see his beautiful face.
I didn't know I wasn't on. And I just saw my name on it. Sorry.
Your house looks kind of like mine. That's what my kitchen looks like.
Eventually they all look the same, I think.
Yeah, for real.
Quartz countertops, white cabinets.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, so that was kind of the first session, and I thought that was pretty killer. And then last session, what did we even go over last session? I think we really expanded more onto that topic and specific action items about how we can move forward and what we can do. So I think it was more implementation last week. And then through that, we started getting on the conversation of the different tools that Keller Williams provides that can make us stand out, especially through being running a virtual business or showing our sellers how we compared to other agents. So we went through Keller Mortgage and everybody on the call didn't know what Keller Mortgage was. So so that's why I coordinated with the lender to come here. And then I have a couple other tools that I want to talk about today that you guys might not know about. But yeah, hopefully that gets you back up to speed a little bit.
How did you meet this Keller mortgage person? Is it someone that's in our area or? Yeah,
so Keller Mortgage, they have lenders that are specific to the state. So they're familiar with what exactly is going on here, which I think is great. Oh crap, Lori, she's in the waiting room. Gotta admit her in.
Totally.
So this one, he's worked with a couple agents in our office, and also Emily suggested him. So you can work with whoever you want. We've got, I think it's probably 4 or 5 specific lenders, but you can choose, whoever. But this guy just has really good reviews, and he came really highly recommended.
Oh, cool.
So.
Hey, Lori.
Hey, Lori. What's
Hi,
up,
guys?
girl?
Hey, team. It's the cool kids.
It's the cool kids.
So awesome. Well, what have you guys been seeing? How is your business? Do you feel like it's still moving, or what are you seeing right now?
Well, I can tell you what I'm seeing. I've got a listing coming up tomorrow. I think we'll be listing it tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah.
Condo It's a mid-level, and Lori has one too, out in a little different community, but it's the same builder, same city. And I'm seeing that the upper units and the main level units are selling, and the mid-levels are hanging out. And Tori listed one in the same community I'm in, and she went to 239.9, and the other ones have been like 245, 247, 250.
Mm-hmm.
The 239.9, and I just texted her this morning, and she said she thinks they're getting an offer today.
Oh, sweet.
So anyway, that's kind of, I'm seeing the mid-levels priced at the same price as the uppers and mains are not going anywhere. So we're going to be probably pricing around the 240 mark on that condo.
Awesome.
Because of that, but I'm glad she's getting an offer. I went and previewed hers and 2 others this morning just to see what the competition was, and they all look great. It's like if it was a normal market and COVID hadn't hit, they would have been sold.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
for
So,
sure.
yeah.
That's awesome. So things are still moving pretty good for you, smoothly.
Well, they're moving slower, but
Yeah.
they are moving. Yeah.
That's good. I'm surprised. Like for me, I feel like people are still in the market. Did you guys watch that article or read that article that NAR released? They did a poll with the consumer, and they said it was like 50% of them just stopped their search based off of fear of coronavirus. It wasn't necessarily an economic thing for them. Did you read that article?
I did.
That was really interesting. I'll have to send it to you. But what did you think about that, Lisa?
I just remember that part that you were saying. So it's all kind of, some of it is financial, but some of it's just perception, and some of it
Yeah.
is the fact that, like, I think a lot of the investors are like, okay, I'm going to wait and see where the fallout is before I go spend money on anything.
Yeah.
Because I was talking to Steve Judkins, he had a possible investor for a condo, and I was talking to him. He said, yeah, give me your information on the condo you're listing. So I did. And then when he got back with his investor, the investor was like, yeah, I'm going to wait because I just want to see, because I think it's going to, the investor thinks it's going to bottom out. He thinks it's going to go way down.
Yeah.
So hopefully not, but I think that's one reason things are slowing is because everybody's like, oh, let's see what happens.
Yeah. I would say I totally agree with like the investor aspect of it. I think it's funny. It's interesting because I feel like a lot of first-time home buyers are coming in right now, but I think it's probably because like they're not like tainted about the last crash. Like they're not really worried about anything. They don't know anything otherwise. So I totally agree with the investor thing too. And on the flip side, I think first-time home buyers are big right now. I mean, I don't know if you guys agree, but I've had a bunch of friends reach out to me probably in like the last week or 2 weeks wanting to buy their first house. So yeah, pretty interesting.
Yay.
Like, I'm not worried about buying property right now, but I just think you'd want to buy it at a little bit of a discount because there's so much unknown,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And I really don't see a lot of deals. I see that most of the listings go pretty quick if they're priced decently and whatever. So it's almost like a lot of people have said now is going to be a great time to buy a house. It's right now. I'm like, well, yeah, it's always a great time to buy a house, but isn't that normally when there's a deal?
Right? It's always a great time.
Right? But it's like, I think everyone expects real estate to be on sale right now, and it doesn't, at least from what I can see, it's not. I mean, I don't have a ton of contracts, but it seems to be like pretty flat.
And I've heard of a couple times where like there's still quite a bit of multiple offers going on right now, which that's also really interesting to me too. But okay, so while we're waiting for Keller Mortgage to come up, we can start just like with our normal stuff. And then let's do it. Okay. So again, just a couple announcements about Bold. Actually, I want to show you guys this first. So I'm letting you guys in on a secret because we haven't announced this yet, but this is what we're doing. So I wanted to give you guys just kind of like a heads up. We're doing a stimulus package for our agents right now, just to keep us focused and help you guys like navigate with, you know, everything that's going on, get everything virtual, show your value, all of that. So what we are offering to do, I don't know if I should put this in presentation mode, is this is what we're going to do for you over the next couple months is any agent who enrolls in Bold, we are going to cover your costs 100%. So essentially you're going to Bold for free. We're doing that for a couple of reasons, but I think on a larger scale, the Bold coach that's coming in this time, he's actually ranked the #1 Bold coach in all of MAPS. So we have a killer coach that's coming in, but also there's new curriculum. So as far as like what Eric said last week, there's no more hype or cheerleading or getting up and doing weird dances. Like this is like the meat and potatoes, and it's only held for 2 hours a day for 2 days in that week, right? And then marketing, we're offering to set up your entire website for you, your command website, and that includes any customizations that you want as well. So this is like more like specific to what you're wanting from a website. We're offering free coaching. MAPS is offering a couple months of free coaching if you want to do it through MAPS. And then we're going to be bringing coaches in here that you can get assigned with for the next couple months. And then this is like kind of top secret, but I'm telling you guys anyways. But we are going to pay for you guys to run Facebook ad campaigns in Command. We're trying to decide what that number is right now, but we're looking at $50 or $100 for Facebook ads. Get you guys some leads coming in. So just want to let you know this is what we have kind of in the works. We really want to help keep you guys focused on, you know, what's important and more importantly, bringing in more business right now. So
I have a question, Eden.
Yeah.
On the websites, what are you going to be able to do to make them stand out more? Or
so I don't know if you've looked at the ones that we have right now. They are pretty generic just from like the basic one, but
yeah,
you
I
can
have it. I just haven't seen how I can customize it, like putting it in. What can I add, I guess is the question.
Yeah. So you can add, for example, as many pages as you want. So if you want to have a page on, if you want to have like a mortgage calculator on there, if you want to have pages specific to certain neighborhoods on there, your listings have their own website, their own featured website. So that's a great value tool that you can tell to your sellers is that their property gets their own website, right? It's not on just one generic website. But I have some examples of like pretty killer sites that people have built out. So in my follow-up email, I'll include it for you so you can see it. I would pull it up right now, but the link's in my email, so I don't want to waste time. But no, they can look, you know, my website could now look completely different from your website. Like it's pretty cool. So
Yay.
okay,
That would be awesome.
oh, I'm excited.
You'll do that through Kimber?
So right now, email Kimber if you're wanting your website set up. So that way we can at least, so we can at least get like the skeleton of it set up. And then probably after everybody gets their skeleton set up within like the next 2 weeks is when we're going to start total customizations. So. Okay.
Because I have my skeleton set up, but it's really the boring basic.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yay.
Yeah. So we'll set up like consults for you guys to kind of go through and work it all through. So.
Okay.
The other question I have is there an option to be able to do like a find out what the value of your home is kind of thing on the website?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that would be like a custom page that we would create. So
okay, cool.
if you like, in the meantime, if you guys want to, you know, look around on other websites, if there's specific things that they have that you like, maybe just copy and save that link on a document or in an email. So then if that's something that you want, we can just quickly, you know, put it together. So
okay.
Look, it's exciting.
Amazing.
And then today, Gary Keller is doing a market update, market report. I don't know if you guys saw that at 2:00. And Kimber sent out an email for this with the link, but just so you guys know that's going on right now, or at 2 today. I saw that he was on here, but I think he's having a hard time getting in because we'll do Keller Mortgage first. Also, Lisa and Nick, I don't know if you guys have seen this. Have you? Maybe I think it was last week that I did it, but have you guys seen this Pivot Facebook group? Are you part of it?
Yeah, I'm in it.
Sweet. So I would, Lisa, if you're not part of it, I would definitely go on there and join it. It's a Facebook group that Keller Williams created, but it's a broker agnostic Facebook group. So agents all over the country from all different brokerages are in this group collaborating together, sharing their files, sharing their strategies. So this is one cool way about how we're coming together. On that, there's also one of the executives from Keller Williams that's doing a shift, like 5-minute, power up day for what's going on, what to focus on for that day. So some good information's in there.
And it's a good recruiting tool, right?
Yeah, it can be a killer recruiting tool as well. Like if you have friends who are in the industry, I would send it to them, right?
I was just gonna put Trevor in there this morning, and then I looked, and Trevor's already in there, so you probably already invited him.
Yeah, I think when I talked to him, he said that he was on there, but I did invite him to Bold. So if you want to harass him about Bold, you should do that. Okay. Well, we'll just hang out for a sec if you guys are okay, or we can just skip over the Keller Mortgage part for right now. So Lisa, so you guys know, I'm recording every single one of these sessions, so I could send you the recording or even my slides from the last time so you can kind of get caught up to speed. But it was really interesting because Keller Williams released this pivot playbook. Did you guys see this come through? Okay, I'll send, again, recap email, but I'll send you guys a copy of this. It's a workbook that literally has taken the shift book and just broken it down into just like super small bullet points. So I think as far as like productivity and how we want to put together our next 30, 60, 90-day plans, this is a killer source to start with. So it breaks out, your mental shift, learning to live on less, building relationships, building new skills. Like it's really, really interesting. But one thing that stood out to me is as I was reviewing this, the majority of the content is building deep relationships with your SOI. So I was super stoked because like that's what we've already been working on. So anyways, I'll send this to you. And so with that, what's that?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, it's cool. But so with that, I was thinking of additional tools that like Keller Williams has that you guys might not know about that you could even just reach out to your clients for and touch base, and really come from contribution again instead of feeling obligated to do anything. So I did a little highlight on Keller Covered in team meeting. Have you guys heard of Keller Covered?
Well, what in team meeting? Yes.
Okay. So I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into this because I did it pretty quick on team meeting. But when I was going through it, I kind of called it like the kayak of home insurance. Like you go onto the Keller Covered site, you type in your address, single family, townhome, whatever. I mean, it's super simple questions. And then it just starts shopping through all of these different insurance companies to get you the best rate for your homeowner's insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So, and one thing that I thought was super rad about it is as it was going through, it asked if you have a Keller Williams agent, and they'll type in obviously your name. And then when they do, A, that lead gets sent to your command portal, and B, that client actually gets better rates. They get a higher discount than just what they're seeing right now. So if you're a KW agent or not, you can use it, but by being a Keller Williams agent, you're actually getting them a higher discount. So like I'll show you guys, if you go to the website, it's just kellercovered.com. And you go to get multiple quotes. I'm just gonna start over, just so you guys can see how simple it is. Like anybody can do it. And again, by us syncing or partnering with Google, this again is like hyper locating the actual property itself. So when I typed in my address, I just want to show it to you guys because it's so cool. It pulled all of the information on my house. So square footage, beds, baths, it just like auto-filled all of it. So it's super cool. Like right here, you can see all that information, continue, single family townhome. I mean, I think you guys get the gist of it, but yeah, just go through that. And then after this screen, it has you type in your KW agent info. So after we talk about Keller Mortgage, I think this could be 2 great touches for your clients, especially right now with refinancing. They can refinance their house through Keller Mortgage and not have any loan fee, no loan costs, no origination fees, no closing costs, no nothing. And also a part of Keller Mortgage is that they will reimburse up to $1,000 of third-party costs. So if they have to pay for an appraisal or if they have to pay for whatever just to do the refinance, then they'll be reimbursed for that. So I think that's probably one of the most important things right now. Refinances are huge.
What will they cover again? Will you say again?
Yeah, so I'll go to the screen in the meantime. 0 origination fees, 0 lender fees, $1,000 closing credit, and this is the credit towards your third-party closing costs. Their rates are basically the same and actually pretty competitive to, you know, what else we're seeing right now. So yeah, they're essentially getting a home loan for free. Sorry, I'm just gonna text him right now.
What's his name?
His name's right here on the left, Victor Emil.
I'm gonna put him in my phone.
Yeah, 100%. So this is one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about for marketing opportunities for lead gen. What I've heard people having the best success on for Facebook advertising is doing an advertisement for Keller Mortgage. So the ad is essentially saying, get a home loan for free, and you'll have your own Keller Mortgage site. So you're capturing all of those leads. But again, you have an ad that intrigues people and it's providing huge value to just anybody, right? So I think for this week, that could be a killer action item for you guys to reach out to your SOI and talk to them about refi, and then do a Facebook ad campaign for Keller Mortgage. Victor, are you on here?
Yeah, can you guys hear me? Can you see me?
I can't
I'm
see
so
you.
sorry.
We can hear you.
You can't see me. Okay, sorry. I tried to, my phone wasn't working, and then my company's server wouldn't allow me to do Zoom, so I had to get out of that and go into my regular laptop. And so I'm on, but it looks like the video is not working. I'm so sorry about that. I'll see if I can make it
That's
work.
okay.
Here.
Are you on your phone or on your computer?
I'm on my computer now.
Do you have a webcam?
Yeah, it's showing, it's lit up. So I'm not sure.
So if you hover over your Zoom screen, on the bottom left corner, it should say show or start. What does it say on there?
It says, yeah, it says
Start video.
stop. Yeah,
Okay.
it says stop video, but yeah, it's weird.
Okay.
It doesn't have a line through the stop video, does it?
So it does now, and I'm just gonna try to.
Lori, I want to be where you are.
Right?
It's either that or you're gonna get a bunch of teenagers walking through the background.
Okay, so it says the host has stopped my video.
Yeah. So I stopped it to.
All right.
Try it again. Nope. Okay. It's fine. We just wanted to see your beautiful face, but.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Well, I can email you a picture, I guess.
Okay, so we were kind of touching base about Keller Mortgage, but for the most part, Lisa, Nick, and Lori, they're not super familiar with how it works. So if we could go into kind of details about what you do, benefits of the program, how to get more business from it, things like that.
So yeah, so first off, the main benefit is going to be the cost and the interest rate. So typically most lenders, their closing costs consist of their lender fees consist of a processing fee and an underwriting fee typically, and usually that averages to be about $1,500. I'm not sure if you're familiar with looking at your clients' closing disclosures, but typically it's going to be like $1,500, $1,800. We waive those fees, and then we also give them a $1,000 closing cost credit to go towards their third party, so their appraisal and title fees. So typically upfront, the closing costs are going to be at a minimum $2,500 cheaper if the loan amount's above $150,000 than most other lenders. I don't know of any lenders that just don't charge origination fees or their processing and underwriting fees unless they're giving a credit. So then you're also they're going to get a low rate. So the rate's not marked up to do this. You might hear that from, our competitors, but it's not. It's actually probably going to be lower than they're at as well. Interest rates right now are in the low threes on a 30-year fix for your standard purchases, 5% down to 20% down, with a credit score of 740 or better. So they're really competitive right now. So that's the gist of the benefit of it. Some of the things that we do to kind of speed up the process. Obviously, with COVID, things are a little bit different with appraisals, but we're finding that the turn times are still coming back pretty quick. But we do order the appraisal day one of receiving the contract, so we don't wait for the home inspection process to go through. We don't take a credit card from the client. We don't charge the client. So if the inspection comes back and they're not happy, you can't negotiate the contract and it's canceled. Even if we have the appraisal done, we don't charge the borrower. We eat that cost. And so we do that just so that we can speed up the process, because the most important thing for us is to meet that closing date. So that's the big date that we're, every team member is looking at, from day one. And so that's what we kind of reverse engineered the whole process to ensure that we're clear to close well before the closing date. And then we keep you updated, throughout the process, as well as the listing agent's going to get updates as well, just so that everyone knows what's going on. So service-wise, you're not going to, see any slowdown as far as that. So, like I said, you might hear from competitors, well, yeah, their rates are good, but how's their service? And I'm not sure if any of you have been able to use Keller Mortgage yet, if you've had an experience, but we just don't miss closing dates. So, that's the main thing. We want to protect everything as far as, our clients' earnest money and obviously the deal together, to make sure that we close on time. So that's pretty much it. I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions, about kind of the market and, interest rates, marketing, things of that nature. I can definitely answer any questions you have about that.
So what's your average timeline? I mean, if you're ordering appraisals right up front, I mean, are you closing deals faster than a normal?
Yeah, usually we recommend 30 days. Like I said, if you're up against a multiple offer situation and you want to sweeten the pot a little bit and offer, something under that timeline, definitely, let your loan officer know, or let me know if you're working with me, just before you do that, just to ensure that, I'm taking a look at the transaction, make sure that we can, the client can supply any information that we need to make sure we hit those timelines. In this market, just with what's going on with COVID, just things take a little bit longer. Appraisals actually are still fine, because they're able to do, if the appraiser can't get into the home, they're allowing basically what's called a desktop, appraisal, where they don't have to go into the home. So there's a lot of things being done I haven't really seen any slowdown in business. I just seen just a couple more obstacles, but they're definitely workable. It's nothing to be concerned about, outside of, just some of the guidelines being restricted on some of the lower credit score clients. But yeah, turn times are usually we're clear to close before the closing date. And so, we can move up the closing, especially pre-COVID. That's a constant thing that we're always doing. Hey, we're clear to close. You guys want to close early? So, but obviously if we have tighter timelines, that may not happen. But yeah, we can close them quicker than 30 days, but we just recommend in this market right now, I would just do 30 days.
Okay. And I feel like, I mean, for me, like, this might be getting a little bit too much into the weed work, but how do you guys make money? Like, that's one thing that I've never understood. Like, how does that work? Is it from like the sell side of KW? Like, or?
Yeah. So let's say, I won't name names, but let's say, one of the bigger mortgage companies here, they're going to be in Class A office space. They're going to have a marketing department. They're going to have managers. They're going to have sales managers. They're going to have MSAs, marketing service agreements with builders, sometimes with big real estate teams. They're also paying a lot more to the loan officer. And so all those things, that's not happening at Keller. And that's really, I can't really speak on behalf of like what their profit is. but I know that their main goal is to support Keller Williams agents. And so I'm not sure, in my opinion, I'm not sure a profit is a huge goal. I think it's more Gary just wants to support, agents, because this can help make deals happen. If, a client, you can help, even a listing, sometimes, you're kind of going back and forth, a buyer is asking for closing costs to be paid. And, I've had clients come to me from the listing side to be able to get this deal so that their clients can save a few $1,000s just to make the deal work. And obviously, and it may even get a better deal. So that's the main thing. It's just, we don't have all that we run really lean compared to other lenders, and that the main focus isn't profit, it's support of the Keller Williams arm of business.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think that's a good point to touch on. We talked a little about this last week, but the part of being or Keller Mortgage is there has to be a KW agent in the transaction, right? So if you guys are representing the seller, but a buyer's coming in asking for closing costs, you can offer this to the buyers, so it's making your seller more money without having to pay for those.
Yeah.
So that could be an awesome thing to add to your listing presentation. Say this is a workaround that's exclusive to KW.
Right. I also think that because of the volume that they're able to do without putting that at the marketing costs for the loan officer, that's the way they're able to make money there too.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, I'm personally doing a lot more volume, compared to where I was at previously. So, it works out. And also, our marketing arm is really you guys. We're not really having to go out there and have a big marketing campaign, outside of just some of the other, smaller things that we do. But that definitely keeps expenses down when you don't have to have a huge marketing budget.
Yeah. Sweet. Do you guys have any other questions as far as Keller Mortgage is concerned? I mean, even just that, like the economy right now, interest rates.
Lori just put one on the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, are you muted, Lori? See if I can find you.
Yeah,
Where's my chat?
Sorry, I've got lots of noise in my background, so I just.
It's okay. I
Okay,
can't get my chat for some reason.
It says so here's a couple questions. What is the process? Do I have an actual one or one-on-one relationship with a lender? That's one of the questions.
So you're probably talking about a loan officer at Keller Mortgage. So you guys have the choice, and I'll email a link to Emily or to whoever's running the meeting, where you guys can get more information about Keller Mortgage. It's basically portal.kellermortgage.com. You use your KW credentials to log in, and then you can there's a lot of marketing information, a lot of information about Keller Mortgage. And so you can choose a loan officer you want to work with, or when you go into the portal, you can share the application link with your client, and so you can refer them a number of different ways. You can have them call a loan officer directly. If you want to work with a preferred agent like myself or with someone else, you can actually set that through your settings, your preferred loan officer, and so you can work with them every single time. So there's some benefits of working with the same person. Is just you're familiar, what their experience is. You just, I have a lot of preferred agents that I work with, and some agents just like to send it through the portal, and it just goes round robin to whichever licensed loan officer is available. And so if it goes in, if they submit an application 7 days a week, we have loan officers and underwriters working on pre-approvals, even on Sundays at 8:00. So,
right. And the other part of her question was about getting the same person every time. And so once we've got a loan officer, we're getting that loan officer the same every time.
It's up to you. It's up to you. You have to set it. Yeah, you have to set it in the portal to get that same loan officer.
But I mean, throughout the process of one loan, I'm not talking to different people. I'm talking to one.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it'll go in, and whoever it's assigned to will be the loan officer throughout that transaction.
Okay, and then the other question she has is, what is your approval rates? Do you see a lower percentage of approvals because of the process or higher?
No, I see personally, I don't really deny. I don't see a whole lot of denials. I mean, outside of they just don't qualify. We do have minimum credit scores. So right now it's a 640 minimum credit score. It was a 600 for FHA, but FHA right now, you just can't.
They're just tightening
You
things up.
just can't get it. We're doing a lot of, I'm personally doing a lot of education on how someone can get their score up. Because if it's at a 640, you just really need to try to get it up as high as possible, 660, 680, if at all possible. But still, you can still get a conventional loan at a 640 if it'll get approved. But yeah, there's definitely a little bit less approvals coming through on the lower credit scores these days. I'm not sure if that's going to shift back or when it will, if it will, but it's just every client's a little bit different. What I would suggest is just no matter where they're at, just refer them, to whichever lender you're working with, and let them have a conversation and take an application and give them the education they need, just so that they can either A, get qualified, or B, have a plan to get qualified.
Okay, I have a question. Do you have any overlays as far as overlays over the guidelines of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac on top of theirs, or do you just approve whatever is?
We mainly go off Fannie and Freddie, but yeah, there are some overlays with the lower credit score clients. And typically it's like reserves, like having 2 months of payments or 4 months of payments or 6 months of payments in reserves on the lower credit score stuff. Other than that, there are a lot of investors, that we work with have different overlays, not us. So, and these are going to be the same investors that any lender that you guys are working with are going to have. So that's why it's just not a good idea to, put that information out there, just because every individual is going to be a little bit different. And sometimes we can circumvent those overlays by, like I had a client, I just told them, hey, pay off a $500 credit card. Their score went from 645 to 680 just by doing that. And then we get rid of any overlay, and so there's a lot of, that's why I would just say, it doesn't matter where they're at now, just let them have a conversation with someone that has, that can give them that education, to get them to a point to where they can get qualified with the least amount of obstacles. But nothing big, like we're going to be on par, as far as, our guidelines with everyone else. We take a look, and if there is an overlay, it's more or less just management taking a look at the file, just to take a look at the whole file, just because we just want to make sure it's because and it's also changing, it's fluid, because things are changing all the time. So what's true today could be different next week.
Okay.
So that's kind of where my questions are coming from, is what's kind of the relationship that you have with our clients? Is it a real sterile digital relationship, or is there a personal relationship where you're going to help coach them through the process? Talk to me about that.
Yeah. So for me, I come from the angle of I'm a manager, a mortgage manager, a mortgage planner, not just transactional. And that's how I work personally. I think every loan officer that you deal with, no matter what company they're at, works differently. But for me personally, no. I mean, they do have to work through the portal as far as their application and their documents. So meeting face to face probably isn't going to happen, even though I'm in Utah, and I probably could maybe next year, whenever this thing changes. But yeah, it's not just like, please upload your documents and I will get back to you, with a, one option. And then, I'm going to be able to talk to them about their goals and about what they want in their mortgage, and also give them education and other things to think about that might be of benefit to them, without confusing them or overwhelming them. So yeah, I more or less just come from the angle of a mortgage planner versus just a transactional loan officer.
Okay, so there is the kind of that human connection still, where if they have questions, they're going to be able to call you. It's not just going to be through emails and digital, but they will actually be able to, because I think probably my first hesitation is just that, is that like the lender
Yeah.
that I've worked with for all these years, there's that personal side of it that's outside of the numbers that helps to calm, to secure, to guide, to guide and lead them how they can get their best mortgage or all that
Yeah.
jazz. And so that personal touch is still there with the mortgage system.
Yeah, absolutely. Every client's a little bit different. So, when I'll leave it up. I would just leave it up to you with how you're going to refer a client to us. You could say if they might be ready to go, want to fill out the application, want an approval letter as soon as possible, and then you can just send them the link. But they may just want to have a conversation first, and I have clients that don't even send a client any links. They just text me their number and have me call, or they'll have them call me, and then we have a conversation. At that point, we'll take the application. I'll send them the application link, directly, because I can create one tying it to you from my side. But yeah, they're definitely gonna get that personal touch, and we're gonna talk, and I'm gonna answer any questions that they have, any concerns that they have, just like I did prior to working here. Just like probably your same loan officers, how they're dealing with the clients, up front. So every client's a little bit different. It just matters how they want to work. I have some that just are ready to go, want to fill out application, like the text, like the email. Obviously I note that, and that's the way we communicate. Some want a phone call every time something's requested, or they have any questions, they want to talk. And so every client's different, and we'll just work with them with however works best for them.
Great, thanks.
So Victor, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys don't do down payment assistance, right?
That's
that's
correct.
the only thing that you can't do, or that you don't do.
Yeah, we don't do down payment assistance. We did initially, like in Texas, but it just doesn't work with, we need to be able to offer this deal, and you just can't do that with down payment assistance. So it gets confusing. So I don't know if that's something that we're ever going to do. We may have more of like a division that does that, but I haven't heard anything. Right now we're just doing your standard Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, which is the conventional stuff, VA, FHA, obviously, and then USDA. And so VA, USDA will be your zero down programs. And then we don't do, non-QM, the bank statement type stuff. We don't do that. That's non-existent right now anyways. And then, we do jumbo loans, even though, you may have heard jumbo's gone away, and it pretty much is, it's definitely gets a little bit more expensive. So we're doing a lot of combination loans where we just take the first mortgage up to the high loan balance limit, depending on the area. So like, you might be 510, 400 or 646, depending on the area. And then we do like a home equity line of credit behind that. Let's say they're purchasing $1 million home. So, so we do the main, agency stuff right now. But yeah, no down payment assistance. So Utah Housing would have to go to, Utah Housing lender.
Okay. Sweet. Do you guys have any questions?
Yeah, I have one more about credit. Do you have a credit company that you refer people to if they need credit counseling help, or how do you help? Are you able to run scenarios for people for credit issues?
Yeah, we can run scenarios. We don't really do credit repair. Just there's too much, I think, liability with that. With even prior to me working at Keller Mortgage, I just felt like, they're just sometimes it was hard to get anywhere. But yeah, if they have, if they need some help to boost their scores, we can give them that information. And mainly it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. Obviously, they have credit cards. Typically, just reducing the utilization on that's gonna do the trick. But we can get specific. Like I said, I just I have a couple of clients that I've given them information to get their scores up, to A, qualify them, and B, give them much better terms as far as the interest rate and closing costs. Because again, anything below like a 640 on FHA, you can't do it. But between that 640 and 660 credit score, you're probably looking on an FHA. You're probably looking at a rate in the 4s. Plus, it's gonna cost. So, we want to try to get that score up to a 660, preferably a 680, honestly.
Okay, so somebody with 800 credit score wants to refinance right now. What's the best interest rate you got?
You're probably going to be like on a 30-year fixed, 25, right around 3.25.
Okay.
And again, then you get the same deal. So, like if I had one, I did probably about 15 refinances this month, and a lot of them I got appraisal waivers because they had enough equity. And after the appraisal waiver, like literally the hard costs were zero. It was just their escrow, setting up their escrow account, which is their money. After the $1,000 credit with the appraisal waived, it ended up being like zero closing costs, or like $50 or something like that. So yeah, it's pretty inexpensive to refinance with us when they get that deal.
Cool. And when you're doing refinances, what title company are you using?
So typically we'll use whoever you want us to use, or we have a national title company that we use that's pretty competitive. They'll just do a mobile notary, but yeah, a lot of times the agents just want us to use their title company. We just need to know that up front, and then we'll just order the title through whoever.
Sweet. Nick, do you have any questions? I don't see him anymore, but okay. Victor, you're the best. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Victor.
All right. Thanks, guys. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions.
Okay, we'll do.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks. Okay, guys. Let's go back to our little presentation. What did you guys think about that? Do you guys have any thoughts? Do you feel like that's something that you would want to use?
I like 3.25 without any closing costs. That sounds really great.
Yeah, that's pretty killer. Okay, so these are kind of my action plans that I want us to work on this week. If we want to start using Keller Mortgage or start reaching out to our people, especially our investors, to refinance, we'll go through and show you how to set up your Keller Mortgage profile. One thing that I also wanted to know as well is your Keller Mortgage account syncs with your app. So you're getting real-time updates for what the whole process, the whole stage of the transaction, and so is your client. So on like your Keller Mortgage website, like I just showed you, if you click on that refer a client link and they apply through that link, then it syncs it up. So you're getting you could look at it in 3 o'clock in the morning to see where the loan is. So as far as a customer service and communication standpoint is concerned, I think that's awesome. There's some Keller Mortgage marketing materials I'll show you, getting leads through a Keller Mortgage Facebook ad, and of course refinances. And then coming back to Keller Covered, if you guys want to, I would encourage you to get your own quote. I want you to go through and click through and see how simple it is, because I really do think you'll be really impressed with it. And again, you can run a Facebook ad through it, reach out to your SOI and investors, kind of the same thing, but this I feel like is huge value on both ends, right? Of connecting and communicating with your SOI, but also a great way of generating leads. So if you guys want to, after this, I want to reach out and schedule a time to do a one-on-one next week. And we can go through how to do a Facebook ad, do a Facebook ad together. I'll confirm when we're starting to pay for our agent's ad, so maybe we can kind of piggyback with that. But would that be helpful to you guys?
Yeah.
Okay, I love it.
Great.
Okay, and then last thing is in the pivot playbook that I showed you guys. These are kind of some of the main points that I wrote down that were in that book, and I kind of want to get your guys' thoughts or do a little bit of a mastermind on the chapter that was the market of the moment. And the 3 pieces of it were to be connected and engage with your database. Like engaging with your sphere right now is more important than ever. Especially, you know, people want to feel connected, you know, being isolated right now. I think that's super important. And this is our time to build that connection. To get smart and revisit the shift in the millionaire real estate investor. That's another thing that I wanted to ask you guys about. Next week, I want to bring on a couple agents who are, oh, there it is, Lisa. I'm so proud of you. Agents who are investors. They're investing. They work with investors. Do you guys want to do that? Maybe have a day specifically geared around investing. I don't want to be the one to talk anymore. It'll be good stuff. And maybe I want to see if I could try to bring on a client or somebody who's an investor, kind of get a different perspective.
I'd like to know how agents work with investors, what kinds of things they do to send them deals, how do they find the deals to send them. That's what I want to know.
Sweet.
I agree.
How to get the deal, how to find the properties. Did you say anything else other than that?
No, just specifically, like, I think the time to Tori and Cody one day, and they were saying something about, like, they set themselves up on a drip campaign for, I can't remember. Oh, like multiple, like, duplexes and triplexes, you know, multiple unit properties.
Yeah.
And then they go through and calculate the, what's that thing you calculate for investment properties?
Cap rate.
The cap rate. Yeah, they calculate that, and then they send that information out to their investors that they work with when they find something that they think is good. But I want to know, like, I think different people calculate cap rates differently. So, like, how are you going about calculating the cap rate when you're looking at a property? You know, what does that look like to do that kind of thing?
Okay.
Yeah, someone I had a really interesting conversation with was David Earnhardt.
Yeah.
At Family
I hear you
Reunion.
very well.
Yeah, he had some good stuff. Like, I still don't feel like I quite understand how he values things, but he's like, oh yeah, you need to buy some of these, you need to buy some of these for all different reasons. And he would be someone that would be really interested to figure out, you know, how to identify deals.
I was thinking him, obviously Tori and Cody came to mind. I was also Johnny Christensen. I don't know if you guys know him, but he was the team leader of Orem, but now he's overseeing the whole region. He owns the Red Sign team. But he did a really cool investing like exercise with the leadership at one of our meetings a couple months ago. So even having him on as well for half hour going through those exercises, kind of calculating things like that. You know, spreadsheets of showing, you know, 30 years, you know, appreciations, things like that. It was cool. So, okay, let's plan for that next week, because going through the pivot playbook, if you guys go through it, that was a big thing, was investing. So if you guys don't have a copy of Shift or the Millionaire Real Estate Investor, I want to give you guys a copy. Do you guys not have one of the other?
I have all of them.
You have both? Okay. You have all of them? Sweet.
I need the Shift.
You need Shift?
Yeah.
Okay, I can get you Shift.
That'd be amazing. I tried to order, but I didn't order in time when they were giving those for $5.
Yeah.
And they ran out of stock.
Oh, I got you. We bought a bunch, so you're good.
You're probably the reason they went out of stock.
Right? Seriously.
And are all three of us signed up for Bold? Lori and Nick?
So.
Bold?
I'm not signed up for both, but I will.
Are you gonna do it because it's free?
Why not?
I know I paid for it already, so I know you guys said you're gonna reimburse us, which is a nice perk. Thank you. I love you.
Yes, we love you guys. We just think it's super important right now. So.
I even signed up my husband, who doesn't have his license quite yet, but
I think it's perfect though. Like, it's the perfect time.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about that, but I could send my son as like 2/3 of the way done with his coursework. So
yeah. Love it.
I need an MREA. I left mine out and I never got it back.
Okay.
So
that's how it works. Okay, you got it.
Thank you.
Okay, so this week, and if you guys have any suggestions or ideas, this is kind of like action items, specifically for, you know, investing or bringing or reaching out to our people, is staying alert for opportunities with buyers. And it's suggested to reconnect with buyers who have shown interest in listings and target first-time home buyers. As far as buyers like lead gen is concerned, do you guys use our sign writers that we have? No? So Lori, I don't know if you know, but we provide our agents with sign writers, where it's like it has a text code on it, so people can text the code and then they'll get a kickback with a link of all the information on the property, your information, photos, all of it. But then you'll get a message with their number that they called from and what property it is. So it's like valid information. So I'll get you information on that because that could be just a good free way of generating buyer leads. Are you guys doing any sort of other strategies right now? Since we can't door knock, you know, we have so many different limitations. Anything for either buyers or sellers?
Well, I think I'm gonna, next week, Lori, I'm gonna call
That
people
accountability?
about the grant that is out. And on that, you can call anybody and say, look, there's this grant, you know, who works for the school district that you know that I could give a call to or something. Yeah, whatever, something like that. Yep.
Which grant is it? Are you talking about the PPP or the EIDL, or is it a different one?
I don't even know what those are. This one is through the Sully Board for $5,000 for school district employees.
Okay.
We're only giving out 2 of them. Stephanie's here. Okay, my possibly future daughter-in-law's at the door, so I have to go.
Okay. Well, it's perfect timing, but you guys, Lori, do you guys know about PPP or EIDL?
Yeah.
Did you apply for it?
I did apply for the EIDL, but I never heard anything back about it. So I don't know what happened. I didn't.
Same.
What bank did you go through?
Well, so that one you just do it on their website, right? But the PPI you do through your banks. So yeah, I got that one through my bank, but the other one I never heard anything back about.
Okay.
Did you do the PPP from your bank and you got it accepted?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, you did, Lori?
Uh-huh.
Sweet.
My banker really likes me.
Who'd you do it through?
Zion's, and the manager there, like, she called me from her personal phone and said, the portal's open, go do it now, and we'll get you approved right away. So she was awesome. Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, I know there's been quite a few agents here who got like their full amount that they asked for.
I got all that I asked for.
Yeah. I know for the PPP, I didn't get it the first time around, but then I got an email that said that the application is in line from like where it was before, so like I don't have to reapply or anything. But I'll find out about the EIDL for you.
Thanks.
And figure out what that's all about. So,
yeah, did you guys apply for that?
Yeah, I applied for both. I haven't seen anything back yet, but Emily applied for both, and she got everything on both of them. So, yeah, I know. Okay. Sweet. So I'll send you guys an email, but as far as like things this week are concerned, if you want to, I'd love to do like a one-on-one and put ads together. See if we can get you some more leads coming in. I'll plan on having all of the next session be like guest speakers with investors, targeting investors. And was there one other thing that we wanted to focus on? I think that was it for now. Keller Covered and Keller Mortgage.
Yeah, thank you.
Sweet. You're so welcome. And then Lori, I don't know if you saw, but today at 2, Gary Keller is doing a market update webinar.
Okay, will it be recorded or is it
Probably
be there, be square?
They're recording everything. It's also going to be streamed on Facebook. So yeah,
Okay.
Either way, there'll be a spot for it.
Okay.
Okay. I just love you guys.
You're awesome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Talk to you later. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.